Hey guys, Zyble here, and today I am playing Scrolls. Now, this is more of a what is Scrolls sort of video than a competitive multiplayer one, so that will be a video for another time. Anyway, Scrolls is in beta at the moment, so everything that I show you here is still subject to change, which, you know, as everybody knows, everyone hates change, so that's the way it's gotta be. Anyways, Scrolls is made by Mojang, who, if you haven't been living under a rock lately, you should know them as the creators of Minecraft. Now, they've come up with a cool game here. Scrolls is what I'm calling a turn-based strategic collectible card game. This is because they take in aspects from multiple card games like Magic the Gathering or the World of Warcraft TCG, and they've also mixed them up with elements from the strategic game Heroes of Might and Magic. At least I think it's called Heroes of Might and Magic. I might be wrong, I might be right. Anyway, the way this video is going to work is I'm going to take you through each of the 5 different sections, and then I'm going to play a game against some easy AI just to show you how it works. I'll probably do some competitive matches another time. Anyway, without further ado, let's go through them. First off, we have the arena. Now, the arena is where you go to play all of your games, so it'll be the last one we come to. Next, we have the deck builder. Now, this is a collectible card game, so you have to build a deck somewhere, and this is exactly what it says on the tin. Next, we have the store, where you buy stuff and sell stuff. Simple as. Then you have the settings, where you change your video settings and your music settings and stuff like that. There's not actually much to change in there. It's fairly simple, really. Change the volume, change stuff, change resolutions. It's not that different, really. Next, we have the profile. It has your stats, how many games you've played, how many you've won, how many you surrendered like a bitch, your last game played, mine was 8 hours ago apparently, your rankings, ratings, rarities, stuff like that. And you can also change your avatar, and you know, go for the different heads you want, different arms you want. I like this one, so I'm going to keep it as that, and save. Anyway, first things first, I'm going to take you all into the store and explain some of the cool features about this game. Most notably being the fact that Scrolls, while being a collectible card game, is not a pay-to-win collectible card game. Now, I like that a lot because I haven't exactly got a lot of cash to throw around, and you can't throw hundreds of pounds at the screen and hope to beat everybody. The reason is because you have this currency called shards. Now, shards is what you use to buy with real cash. 600 shards will cost you £3.50, 1,250 will set you about £7, and so on and so forth. The more you buy, the extra bonuses you get. Now, at the moment, there really is absolutely no point for you to have to buy 2,900 shards. Unless you're trying to buy all the avatars and all of the other pre-constructed decks, there really isn't any point. You could probably get away with 600 to be fair. Anyway, the other currency is gold, which is your in-game currency. You get it through beating people, winning matches, selling cards. Now, what makes this game not a pay-to-win game is the main way you will get your scrolls is through these, the random scrolls. And notice that you can't use shards to buy these. You can use shards to buy everything else, but you can't use them to buy the random scrolls. And seeing as this is the main way you're going to be building your deck, this is what makes it good. Anyway, first off, you can buy the random scroll for 100 gold. You get a random scroll from a random faction of a random rarity. So you might get something awesome that you need for your deck, or you might get something really crappy that you don't need. It's all random. Then you have a scroll pack, which is pretty much your booster pack. You get 10 scrolls, 2 guaranteed uncommons and a rare, and it's all random, so you could get the rare for the faction you don't need. It's, you know, that's just the game you play. Or you can buy the scroll specific to the faction you use. Now there are three factions in this game. You have Order, Energy and Growth. Now the names of the factions is also the names of the type of mana you'll be using. So Order will generate Order mana, Energy mana, and so on and so forth. Now when you buy these, you will get a random rarity, but you are guaranteed a card from the one you pick. Seeing as I'm going pure Order, I've only been buying these. I think I bought a scroll pack, but I sold back most of the cards for extra gold. And I picked up a couple of rares from the Order scrolls, so it does work out quite nicely. I picked up a good rare earlier on. Anyway, next thing you can buy are these. Now these are 6 random weekly generated cards for you to buy. You can only buy one of each. You get 2 commons, 2 uncommons and 2 rares, each of a random faction each. But the cards are tailored to what you could need. You're not going to get a random card here, you're guaranteed the card you buy. And now you can buy your shards, use shards to buy these, because you can only buy one of each, so it's not like you can just buy hundreds of End of Reason and win. What is End of Reason? Seems okay. Yeah. The selection of face-up scrolls refreshes each week and is unique to each player. So there's a huge chance that no one will see the same cards as you. Next you can buy the other pre-constructed decks. Now when you start the game for the first time, you'll be asked to pick a faction. I went with Order. But that doesn't mean that the other 2 decks are locked out to you. You can still buy the other 2 and then smush them together if you so wish. And then you can buy some avatars to make your guy look all pretty or frilly or cool or old or whatever you like. Maybe even make him look like Gandalf-ish. That's pretty much the store. You can sell your cards back, which is a pretty cool feature. So if you've got loads of cards you don't want, you can chuck them back and make a small amount of gold. We can use to buy more random ones. The greyed out ones, I believe, are the cards you get with your pre-constructed deck, which is a good fail-safe mechanism. You can't just go sending back all of your cards and then not have enough to play with. There is a minimum deck size for legit decks. So it works out pretty well. I've sold a fair few cards back and you get a decent amount of gold. I got 100 for selling maybe 4, which is enough to buy another random scroll. So it works out. Anyway, next we're going to jump into the deck builder. Now it seems pretty basic at first, but it can get a little hectic. So the way this works is the cards up the top are the cards that you own. You can filter them into different types. I click that and all my Order cards are gone. And I don't have any Energy or Grave because, like I said earlier, I'm going pure Order for now anyway. I don't have enough cards to start dipping into other factions. To the right, here's the description of the card that you select. Select the Crown of Strength, it shows you what that card does. Now under here is where your deck will be. Now there are 2 deck restrictions. You cannot have less than 50 scrolls and you cannot have any more of 3 of one card. I've got a deck ready made here that I've been working on, and it's a complete mishmash, to be fair. I still got so many cards here that I had from the pre-con deck, but I'm working on it. Now I've arranged it into cost. So I got the 1 cost at the beginning, the later cost later on. So for some reason they chucked the 6 cost before the 2, which is odd. Now if you want to add cards to your deck, you just literally grab and throw up there to take them out, and grab and chuck in to put them in. See, the number at the bottom changes as you add more in. If you wish to add more than 1, you just click and hold. Now I've got all 3 selected and I can just plonk them back up there, but I want to use those, they're pretty good. That's pretty much it really. You can clear the table to start fresh, save your decks, load your decks. It's really that easy, I suppose. Anyways, next I'm going to go to the arena and we're actually going to play a game. So click here, and the good thing is this deck is not multiplayer only. You can play single games. The tutorial is, basically the tutorial. It shows you what you need to play the game. A quick match to quickly jump into a game versus easy, medium, hard AI, you choose, or trials. These are basically challenges for you to work at. So for example, for me to do this man out war, I have to destroy 3 of my opponent's islands to win, which is the basic win con for this game. But my opponent's isles begin with just 5 health. Usually they'd start with 10, but my opponent begins the battle with a Knight Scholar and an Honourable General. They're 2 very nice cards, and you get some gold for beating it, and they get harder and harder as you work further and further down. They're pretty cool to work on. I've done a couple, as you see. The ticks are the ones that you've done. Then you've got multiplayer, quick match, which will quickly throw into a game with someone else. Rank match, where you go for a rating, or if you want to fight someone in particular, you right click on a name and click challenge, and then if they accept the challenge, you'll jump into a game with them instead. But for now, I am going to go the quick match, and seeing as I'm only showing you how this game works, I'll make you click an easy one. Choose a deck you want. I'm going to choose my soldiers. I'll find a cool name for it soon. My opponent goes first. That's this is your hand of cards or scrolls. That's my turn. Right, as you can see, Heroes of Might and Magic players will be probably instantly familiarised with the hexagonal board layout. You put your guys on this side, your opponent puts their guys on this side. And these are your idols. Blow up 1 when it takes up enough damage, blow up 3 and you win the game. This is, as far as I can tell at the moment, the only win condition. You can't actually be decked out yourself. From what I can tell, when you run out of scrolls, all of the scrolls you're not using are quickly shuffled back in and are ready to go again. It doesn't tell you anywhere how many cards you've got left in your deck, and it doesn't tell you when it shuffles it all back in. So you literally are going to have to either wing it or actually count when cards go to the graveyard, which would be silly. Anyways, this is how you generate your mana. Like I said, every faction has its own mana type, and if you have only order, you'll only be able to get order mana. But if I have, say, energy and growth mana in my decks, clicking one card will allow me to generate those 2 types of mana, and they'll be stacked up vertically. But seeing as I've only got the one type of mana, I can only select order. When I click this button here, the one that I've highlighted, this one here, the card will be sacrificed and sent to the graveyard, and the mana will be given to you. The mana is permanent, it stays with you throughout each turn, and you receive your full complement of mana at the beginning of the turn. So if you've got 7 and you use 5, you'll be brought back up to 7 on your next turn. You can also sacrifice to draw 2 scrolls from your deck, which is pretty handy. The inner ability to be able to draw cards each turn is pretty handy, but you have to be careful because you can only sacrifice 1 scroll a turn. Just like playing a land in Magic, you can only play 1 a turn, same with this game. Now, I need something I can play quickly, so I need something with a cost of 1. I've got an obelisk which costs 2. This is a structure. This structure is basically, you plonk it down, it sits there, and it does its job. An obelisk is pretty much a wall. It sits there, soaks up damage, and dies. You can get structures like artillery, which lob boulders or explosives or whatever, and hits a certain amount of tiles. You can have healing structures. They're basically things that plonk down, and they're there to do a job. Then you've got your creatures. Your creatures are the guys that are going to win you this game, so you need a handy amount. It's a good idea to go a combination of 25 creatures with a couple of walls thrown into that 25 mix, and 25 of the other 2 types, which I'll explain to you in a second. Now, the creatures are what are going to be attacking your scroll, so they are pretty important. Then you have enchantments. Enchantments are like permanent buffs or debuffs, depending on what they do. They slap onto something and they will give you a boost. For example, this one, when I slap onto a creature, will give +1 attack and +2 health. It's pretty simple, but if you can keep stacking them up, they do pretty well. And the order deck is all about throwing lots of enchantments onto the little guy and making him really strong. Now, in my hand, I don't seem to have any of the other type of card, which are known as spells. They are basically, if you play Magic the Gathering a lot, they're your sorceries. You throw them out, they do something cool, and then they disappear. They're one-shot spells, and they are usually the kind of things that can turn the game in your favour in a simple turn. Anyways, I need to play something. Now, I have a guy that costs 1, another guy that costs 1, and a guy that costs 5, a 2 enchantment, a 1 enchantment, and an obelisk. Now, I don't think I'm going to need the obelisk because I've already got 2 guys ready to go. So I'm going to turn the obelisk into mana. Now note that you can see I've got 1 of 1. I'm going to use that 1 mana to play my Royal Infantry. And I'm going to chuck him... I'm going to chuck him in the middle there. This is an easy game, so it doesn't matter much about placement. Now, your creatures and walls have 3 stats. The sword is the amount of damage they do when they attack an enemy or their idol. The heart, or a shield, can't quite tell what that is the amount of health they can take. Now, damage is permanent and accumulative, so as you take damage, it sticks around as turns go by. So if this guy takes 1 damage, he will be on 1 health until I heal him, or he takes another point of damage. And this one here, this is the countdown timer, the cooldown, whatever you want to call it. When you place your guy, it will start off on the amount that is said on the card, but every turn it will tick down, and when it hits 0, he will attack or do an activated ability, or whatever the card says. Some cards will not attack and will do other stuff instead. Some guys, like my Zealot, when my countdown hits 0, I can sacrifice him to do 2 damage to something. Now, all I can do is play that guy for the time being, so I'm just going to end the turn there. Now, as far as I can tell, yeah, this guy is playing a, this was the energy. This guy is playing an energy deck. Now, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, Order is all about buffing up the little man to make it that he can break boulders with his fists. Energy is more of the, we're gonna put out useless structures and some other cool structures to hold you back until we can break out the really big guns like the golems and the cannon automatons. And when they start bringing out those, then the pain, it hurts a lot. Then you've got energy, which is the green one. Energy is all about synergy. Basically, all of the guys in an energy deck will work together with the collective objective to kick your ass. Each guy makes each other guy stronger. For example, they've got wolves that you can bring out, and then you can bring out a great wolf, which it gets a buff equal to the amount of other wolves you have. It's crazy. If you're gonna just keep throwing out dudes, then all of your dudes get super strong. Now, I like Order because it's all about the little soldiers kicking it against the man. Anyway, it's my turn again. I'm gonna stop yapping and play the game. I've got 1 mana available. I want to keep the Royal Vanguard because he is good. He's one of my rare ones. He's a 4 guy. I think I'm going to get rid of the Vengeance Veil. Chain that in for mana. And then I'm going to give this guy a Crown of Strength just to keep him going for that little bit longer. There we go, he's got a buff now. That glowing glow means that he has a buff. Now, this guy is flashing. Because he's on a cooldown of 1, when I end my turn, he will go down to a 0 and attack me. So if an enemy's dude is glowing, he will attack on your opponent's next turn. If your dude is glowing, he will attack when you end your turn. All attacks are done when you end your turn. Right, so not much else I'm going to do there. So I'm just gonna, he's gonna do 1 damage, I can take 4. I'm going to move my dude. You can move your guys if you don't like their placement. You simply click on them and put them somewhere else. I'm going to chuck this guy here. They can only move 1 space a turn, but you can buff them so that you can make them move further. And my turn. That's my opponent's go. He attacks. So my opponent did basically nothing. He just attacked. Back to my turn. I have 2 mana available. I've got no 3 drops. So I'm going to get rid of a Ducal Spearman and then play a Sigmar Zealot here. This guy I'm going to sacrifice to kill off that. And this guy's going to attack, but instead of attacking, he heals all of his structures by 1. He has no structures, so this guy is pretty harmless. This guy's going to attack as well. He's going to do 2 damage to him, which is pretty cool. And my turn. Slash. Good. Job's a good one. Magma Pack. Double enchanted units attack. Enchanted unit is destroyed after attacking. Yikes. So he's now got 2 attack instead of 1. You can tell with all of their enchantments, they're usually stacked up on the left. And on the corner of each side are the cards that were played in the last turn. So you can change your strategies depending on what was played. Anyway, I drew myself a Purification. It basically gets rid of all enchantments from a unit. I don't need that right now because, to be fair, he got buffed by 1. He's still not going to be able to kill my guy, and then he'll die anyway, so it's fine. I will play a Ducal Skirmisher, which if I place on the same row as my Royal Infantryman, he will get +1 health. So I'm going to stack my Ducal Skirmisher on this in front of my Royal Infantryman, whatever he's called. So he will be able to absorb 2 damage from hit and still be on 3 health. This guy will also be able to sacrifice himself next turn to finish him off, which means I'll have an open field. End my turn. So I take 3 damage and he dies. I have a structure. It's basically like the obelisk I had before, but he's a lot better. But I honestly don't need him, so I'll get rid of him. And I'm going to play my awesome dude. Now this guy is good. When his countdown hits 0, everyone around him gets +2 attack until the end of turn. It's such a good card. So good that I'm going to plonk him here. Then I'm going to have him sacrifice himself to do 2 damage to him. So they both die. And then I'm going to end the turn and do 2 points of damage to his idol. Now remember, get 3 of these and you win. Now he has brought himself some artillery. It's a structure, so it can't move once it's placed. But instead of sitting there and do nothing, every time it hits the countdown, it will launch whatever it launches at the flashing tiles. So my Royal Vanguard is actually in the way and could get hurt, but I'm not going to let him get hurt. I'm too good for that. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to shift him there, and I'm going to shift him up there. Now I am my turn, so I'm going to do some damage. I'm going to save him for when I really need him because he's a good defender. Right, something I haven't mentioned yet is some guys have special keyword abilities. Relentless, Spiky. Basically, if I select this guy, Relentless, if opponent blocking unit is destroyed, this creature will continue to attack. So basically this is the Magic the Gathering equivalent of Trample, or the WoW TCG equivalent of Smash. It keeps going until it's got nothing left. Spiky, if it is dealt damage in combat, it will do 2 damage back to the attacking unit. However, if you are attacked by a ranged enemy, you won't be able to do that damage back. The attack has to be melee. Anyways, this guy will attack next turn and hit nothing, so it's fine. This guy has hit cooldown, which means he's buffed the attack of everyone around him. So this guy goes up to 4, and he goes up to 5, but he can't attack. I'm going to sacrifice Thought Trap to draw 2 new scrolls and see if I get anything cool. And I do. I have another Spearman and some plate armor. I'm going to put the plate armor onto my Royal Vanguard. Obviously it knocks 1 off any damage done, so it's a good way to keep him alive, and he is important to this deck's strategy. Other than that, I'm going to do anything else, so in for the attack. Fwah! Take that. Fwah! Hey, there goes one idle. Two left. Oh god, it hit nothing. Anyways, my turn. I draw another Skirmisher. And skirmishers are good, they're good at attacking. And it's also my Skirmisher's turn to attack as well. Now, because I've got that idle, there is no point on sticking on this row. Unfortunately, he will attack anything in that square. But with only 1 damage, he will take none. So I'm going to shift him here, and shift him here. I'm also going to protect this row now that he has a melee attacking dude with a simple skirmisher, and I will stick him at the front. Have I sacrificed this turn? I have not, so I will have 2 more scrolls. Blessing of Haste will reduce the cooldown of a guy by 1, and Purification to get rid of enchantments. I am going to play Blessing of Haste on my Royal Vanguard. So now that he's come off cooldown, he's buffed the attack of the guy that's just about to attack and will attack himself. So if I end my turn, I do 5 damage plus another 3. Fwah, look at that damage. Oh god, he burned my dude, so I'm not getting the health boost from my infantrymen anymore. Oh well. I just drew another one. I'm going to get rid of Purification for 2 more scrolls. Sinmart Zealot, which I will play up here. Resonance Helm on my Royal Vanguard to keep them topped up with heals. And another Royal Infantryman for the extra health. And then I end my turn. It's my opponent's turn. Oh god, the hell was that? Okay, that went badly. Inferno Blast. 1 damage to target tile and all adjacent tiles. Alright, so it wasn't that bad. But my guy here did die, but he did do 2 spiky damage back to him. Which is alright, I suppose. I sort of made the mistake of putting the Spearman at the front in range of the artillery. I won't make that mistake again. Anyway, it's this guy's turn to attack. This is on 2 health, so it's fine, really. It's going to die next turn. But I could play Focus to give him 3 attack, move him to this row, and then kill that, and do a point of damage to that. But to be honest, I think I should probably focus on killing that. So I'm going to get rid of this. No, I'm not going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to end there. Fwah, dead. Right, he has another Gravelock. And another piece of artillery. So he's got 2 pieces of artillery now and 2 dudes. Now this is an interesting card, I've just noticed. Note that it needs energy, the red mana source, to cast. But when you play 1 growth, the green one, you can heal the Gravelock outcast to full health. Now that's good because some cards with one faction synergize with another faction, so sometimes it can pay to go double colours. Heaven forbid triple colours. Anyways, these guys turn to attack, so I'm going to that's going to hit those 2 squares in a turn, and neither of them have Relentless. I'm going to kill that, but I can't kill that. I can't kill both of them. I can kill the first one or the second one. I'm going to get rid of the Ducal Skirmisher and see if I get anything else. Ah! My Honourable General. Best card in the deck. And then you'll see why when I play him if I don't kill the idols first. I'm going to Thought Trap the artillery. So it takes another turn to attack me. I basically double its countdown. Its cooldown. Whatever. I'm going to shift this guy to here. Shift him there. Then I'm going to play Focus on the infantry. Doesn't really matter. I could play it on him, kill him, do some damage to him or whatever. To be fair, I'm not really concentrating much. This is easy. If I was playing against like hard AI or another player, I'd really be focusing and concentrating. Ah, my guy takes the damage. Oh noes. That's going to hurt. first off, I need my honourable general, so I'll get rid of him for some order mana. That thing's going to do 4 damage. It won't kill him, but it'll bring him to a low health, and he's going to get an attack in as well. What I'm going to do is that guy sacrifices himself. I'm going to shift some guys. I'm going to shift him up to there. Him back up to there. He'll take 1 point dash. I'll plan to slap him there. What does that actually do? Units attacked by countdown of goo have their countdown increased by 1. It's not that bad. This guy's going to attack as well, which is good. I might be able to do 2 points of damage to that. So that's not bad. I will play my honourable general smack bang in the middle of them. This is the reasoning why. When the honourable general countdown becomes 0, all adjacent units have their countdown decreased by 2, which is amazing, because this guy brings this guy off cooldown, this guy busts everyone by 2, and they all attack, and everything dies, and it's amazing. Anyway, end the turn. Let's get some damage in. That worked nicely. Spark. Oh, crap, he killed him. And he takes a damage, and they take a damage, and that takes... Oh, I actually took damage. Lame. Resonance Helm. We'll sack that for 2 cards. Flip. That will work quite nicely. I can move this artillery, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that and plonk him up there, and he's not going to be able to do a thing. Completely out of the way with no problems. This guy's going to attack next turn. I've got my guy in the way, so I'm going to shift him there, and let him die against a wall. Might even put him in the way. No, it's not actually really needed at all. So I'm just going to end it there. Ooh, what was that? Redesign. Ooh, and more stuff. I took some damage. He took 1. He took 2. Ah, he moved. He moved him down and killed that guy, which is annoying. Last turn he played target creature's health and attack value switch. Cool. And double the attack damage. Yeah. Right. So he's a 4-1 now. Oh my god. That's nice. I've yet to actually do any damage to his other idols, but that'll change. I'm going to move him there, move him there. Put a crossbowman there to soak up any damage from him. Chuck a Ducal Spearman behind him in range of those 2 guys. And go in for the attack. 3 damage. And there goes another 4. It's quite close to winning this now. Another Gravelock. And he... Oh, no! He burnt him. Burnt him alive. And so, oh, would you look at that? Just drew my other one. Now that is luck. If I haven't seen it before. That was lucky. So I'm going to play him in the same place I played him a second ago. So in this guy, on my next turn, this guy's going to cool down. He's going to reduce the cooldown of this guy, and buff them all, and it's going to be amazing. But one thing I'm going to do is I want to get this guy off cooldown as well. It's going to do 2 damage. It doesn't matter. He's going to kill the crossbowman anyway. So it doesn't matter that much. So I'm just going to end there. Right. Ember Bonds does something. He shoots another one of my idols, throws a bomb at nothing, and kills my crossbowman, just like I thought. Ember Bonds. 2 damage before attacking. That will kill him. That's not good at all. So I'm going to get rid of this for 2 more, and hope I hit what I need. I do not hit what I need. If this guy's going to die, I'm going to place Power Bond on him. When he dies, I'll get an extra order out of it. Now I need to rearrange these guys so they do the most damage possible. But this guy will die to him. He will attack for 6 and I will win. Just to be on the safe side. Put him there. For lols. Attack. He dies. And the final swing from my general. And the game is over. Victory is mine. can't believe it. I beat the easy AI. I am so pro. Alright, I have 161 gold from that, which means I have enough money to buy another order scroll. So off to the store. One order scroll. Oh, I don't have enough. It's 175. Ah, crap. Oh well. I'll have to wait until I pay the next game. Unless I sell some of my scrolls. What scrolls do I not care about? I don't really like Decimation all that much. Could get rid of that one. Hero resources. Mangano. Might get rid of that. Might get rid of the Mangano. Might get rid of the extra obelisk. Sell. 45 gold. I accept. Puts me well over. So I will now buy that order scroll and get myself a common. Got myself a bloody common. Now, such is the way of, you know, random scrolls, I suppose. Anyways, that is scrolls, basically, in a nutshell. Next time I do a video on scrolls, I'll actually fight some opponents where I actually have to buckle down and actually think. Anyway, this is Zyble, and I'm signing off. Laters.